the kills they're setting up. But it's the Sigma factor that's really bringing Soul into this. They will have the first defense now, and Marvel's ready to tear it up again. Remember, he's a main tank player on the Sigma. Very few of those. Gesture, really the only other one.
And Marvel looking, infinitely better than just about every other Sigma we have, main or off tank. This guy is just excelling with this pick. Looks like the hero was effectively made for him.
And then also Michelle playing main tank instead of off tank, excelling too on the Orisa.
Blurring the lines between those two roles, it would seem, but oh man, Fitz getting caught just in front, just above that cart. Haksal has the setup for the punch, looks for another one as Michelle does get taken low. So far, a very strong start for the Vancouver Titans on this push. Just trying to finish off a few stragglers here in the back. As Jayhong will be taken down in the end.
Marvel's just trying to let everyone know, by the way, I will have Gravitic Flux for the second team fight.
I mean, it's more than doubling Janu's charge right now.
They just ignored him and looked for the backline kills, and obviously they got Fitz first, which makes it a lot easier to go forward. So Marvel was largely ignored, which meant he got to do a ton of damage. And that
down low here, but it's by himself, and now Fleta is going to be eliminated, so a lot of pressure alleviated for the side of the Titans. And it will just be a very cleanly won fight.
Talk a lot about how these first eliminations with Doomfist can be deadly. They can win you team fights. Toby somehow escapes there by hiding and knocking back. But Haksal's leading in that right now, and he keeps setting these up. So even though Marvel did have that Gravitic Flux so quickly, he wasn't able to really set up a defense to use it with because his teammates were being picked. Wasn't able to get into a good position when it did finally come online there.
Haksal,
again,
oh, man. Yeah, Haksal's in your back line. He's on your flank. He's got a fist. And he is absolutely slapping the members of the Soul Dynasty. Seismic slam in. Fitz trying to match as desperately as he can, but Haksal is just cleaning up house right now. Final shots go through. Jayhong goes down. The cart will continue to glide.
This is a classic one, Haksal versus Toby, whether it's the Dragon Blades he's trying to kill Toby with, whether it's trying to shut down Toby's sound barriers with the Brigida, the Doomfist in the back line catching him. Always got to watch out for that one. Toby's
Fitz.
He's having some trouble.
Yeah, Veneer Strike going to be used here by Haksal, wanted to get himself out of a sticky situation. Has since dropped back down, but here comes the Death Blossom from above, and Jayhong taken out as he uses the Coalescence. Marvel manages to pick up the pieces there, finds one kill, but it's just not enough. Another cleanly won fight in Vancouver. Titans are just, oh man, this is so fast.
5-10, the time bank heading into C.
A loss for words on this one with how quickly they're going through.
The staggers are massive here as well, so they're going to get a free push around this corner. And this is the one point where you can see attacking teams swap off of this composition. You know, it's not unheard of to see a Widowmaker pop out here and take that high ground in the center in main. If you're the attacking team, you have staggers like this, but they're not looking for it. They're just going to stick Summonsoo back on this Reaper. He's going to stay with it, but just try to slowly push it forward. Here's the Flux.
Flux has come in. Janu going to be looking to match. Finds another two members. Drops them back down as the sound barriers come out from both teams. Cannot find the accretion hit there on the bit, so he makes his way out with the Meteor Strike. Drops back down and sets up the kill onto the tank line. The Vancouver Titans now suffering as Summonsoo tries to make his way out. Great form. Going down, and he will get finished off. Nice punch there from Fitz to get an extra little bit of stagger onto Haksal, and seems like he's going to be wrapping around the back, trying to go for a flank of his own.
Certainly a great halt again for Michelle to kind of lead this all off, setting up that Meteor Strike.
He and Fleta are both in the back right now. Death Blossom's available.
Yep, look at this flank.
He's TPing in. He's looking for it. Death Blossom goes through. Can't quite find the kills. Forces out the Meteor Strike, so Haksal can escape. He'll drop back down, instantly get stunned by the accretion, but they can't finish him off yet. The Coalescence out from Twilight, dueling with Jayhong. Both of these Moiras able to keep their teammates alive, but Twilight will fall in the end. Warp's going out, Haksal manages to find one, trading it back onto Fleta. Jayhong just spamming out with a left click, still got plenty of juice here for the Moira. Getting those right clicks in, weaving them through to make sure they can constantly heal his teammates, but he can't do that when Haksal comes up with another rocket punch, takes him down. Another hit here. Michelle popped up into the air. The fortify not enough to help keep him alive. Will be taken out. Drain a little bit of time off that clock. Nearly 2 minutes, but now we're pushing forward to the finish.
Marvel's really going to struggle to get a good Gravitic Flux off here. He doesn't have it yet. Toby's probably going to have to sound barrier first. And look at the setup here for Summonsoo on the flank.
Yeah, he's right outside. Death Blossom goes through, and it is just a slaughter. Summonsoo comes up with a triple, the supercharger to boot. Gravitic Flux used there on the cart, forcing them back. Meteor strike out from Fitz, but he'll be knocked away, and it's just 2.5 meters left to go. They get the kill onto the enemy Doom.
Okay, Jaehong's back.
Forward here. Jaehong does come in, but he disappears just as quickly as he arrived. Haksal finishes him off again. Flux comes through, manages to find Haksal up into the air. He hits the ground, but is kept alive by the Coalescence. They clean up Michelle as he goes down with the pile driver. Let him buying a little bit more with the Wraith form, but that will expire. There's one after the other streaming forward onto the cart for the Dynasty, but it's not enough. Titans make their way to the end with 2:38 remaining.
A decent stall there for Seoul Dynasty, but they had lost too many members right before that critical finish on the map, so could only really stagger through, despite the really big gravitic flux coming through there for Marvel at the end, which hit a lot of members. There wasn't any follow-up damage. They were easily able to heal through it. Only does 50% of your max health, so when everyone's at full, you're not going to secure any kills with that. And sure, you're going to pull everyone off the cart, but this wasn't overtime, so they just hit the ground and finish it off. Still an admirable delay, pushing that clock down a little bit lower than where it could have been.
Yeah.
Some great efforts by Toby and Jaehong, especially in that regard. But now you're starting to feel like if you're Dynasty, that this is going to be a tough time to beat, and it was the start that really gave them so much trouble. Haksal getting those opening kills. They're going to have to repeat that with Fitz having, you know, positional disadvantage. Remember, Haksal had that as well. He was coming in as the attacking Doomfist. And Fitz will have to match that if they want to be able to get a time bank that is comparable to the Vancouver Titans.
Well, right now, Titans looking like they want to go for another Bastion setup. Will not be a Symmetra moving castle, but will just be that May Bastion again.
Yeah.
We saw on Horizon. Didn't work out too well, as it turns out.
Yeah, it did
we're
not.
displaced very quickly.
This is kind of cool, though. I think the Titans have realized, the coaching staff has realized that in terms of the mirror, there are some problems they run into with the Seoul Dynasty. So they're just running this strategy instead to try to push it away from that.
I like this. This is a different setup here. It's going to be front and center of the gates.
It's very greedy, though. I don't know if it's going to pay off.
They're going to wrap out the other side. Of course, they spotted this through the window. So we'll just be a wrap around the back.
Can see a wall here to put them up.
Are they going to contest them? I think they're going to have to try to push inside and displace them, because if they move over to the cart, then suddenly they have an angle. They will already going to be using the freeze. Summonsu taken down. Immortality Field not there to save him. Was used. Doesn't keep him alive. They still managed to find two, however, but it's going to be a very long run back for Summonsu. So I think you just have to abandon the Bastion after this. Hits the ground, will be taken out. So still a one fight for the Vancouver Titans, and Summonsu will swap over onto the Reaper to try to rejoin more quickly.
Yeah, I guess it technically worked out okay for the Titans here, but I'm not really feeling it. It certainly cost them dearly in terms of what this next fight. Summonsu so far away from his ultimate.
Marvel just trying to play up onto the high ground. TP comes in from Summonsu, looking to contest against that Sigma. Knows that if he gets in behind the barrier, some easy pickings for him. Coalescence out, as is the Ant Matrix for Slime. Immortality Field going to be keeping the Titans alive for the moment. As they continue to push forward, Immortality Field now going to be taken down.
If Haksal can get a Blizzard here, I mean, this is looking really good for them.
Okay, Tizzy eliminated. Gravitic Flex goes through, and Janu will be taken down by that. Start now for the Seoul Dynasty coming back in for the next fight. A very extended one. They get a bit of time out of the time bank, but they do manage to push forward.
It's already significantly worse than the Titans push with the time that the Titans were able to buy with that Bastion strategy. You know, I had questions, would they be able to fight the next fight? And they did it well enough, I think, to where now they're going to have Gravitic Flux, they're going to have this Blizzard. Fleta has his own here, but the Titans should be in better...
A round of 8. Looking to still take this one home. Fighting back to get a victory on Gibraltar. And now one of these teams is going to be looking to take the lead yet again.
Yeah, we are starting our playoffs off with a bang here. Such a historical matchup between these two Korean squads, and it has been very close. When you take a look at the Fitz Haksal matchup here on Watchpoint Gibraltar in particular, look at the final blows here for Haksal. 20-8, set up so many of those initial kills as well, which are what led to a lot of the great push that we saw on their first attack with. And this is with a minute and a half less time played. He's still over double what Fitz was able to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, and 3 deaths to 10. It was just clean play from Haksal. Absolutely huge stuff from him. But now we move forward. It's been back and forth between both of these guys on that Doomfist. Let's see who can come out on top and who will be able to take a lead here in this set as we get ready to go into another round of control. This time going to be the Seoul Dynasty's choice, and they will be taking us to Busan.
Busan indeed here, Achilleos, and this is a really fun control map in this meta. You have opportunities to run McCree even in some of these situations where you're trying to outrange the Reaper. Now, that was what we were seeing before Sigma was released. Now that Sigma's out, it's a lot tougher to make that work because you're going to have that experimental barrier tracking you down wherever you are.
Yeah, the Widowmaker as well.
Yeah, so I was wondering, you know, outpoke the Doomfist, outpoke the Reaper, and it looks like the answer so far is no. The experimental barrier just too powerful, at least for now. That's the diagnosis here for Seoul Dynasty.
Haksal coming around, gets the punch in. Just going to be displacing Marvel. Doesn't have any walls, so not going to be getting too much significant damage in onto that front line. He's still just harassing it as best as he can. Seismic slam forward as Marvel goes down to a sliver of HP. Will get top back up. Blood Wraith form going to be burned. Fitz comes in from the side, manages to find Slime. It's at the cost of Jaehong, so each team going to be down a healer. The Twilight manages to find Fitz. Still trading up. First cap comes in for the Seoul Dynasty, but will that last long? Seems like the answer might be no as Michelle gets taken out.
Yeah, this is going to be a flip here for the Vancouver Titans. At least Seoul is going to buy some time here. Toby is tagging back in one more time.
Does not get finished off.
Yeah.
Okay, coming in. Toby goes around the side. He finds two. Will get taken down. Haksal finally gets rid of him. But man, Toby constantly delivering. They buy a lot more percentage than you would have anticipated. It was looking like the flip was going to come in at 9.
It also
go ahead and push up to 24.
The kill there on the Summon Su also kind of makes the ult economy fairly even here. I mean, when we look across the board, it's almost exactly the same. The Seoul Dynasty get to come back in here on an even ult fight and may be able to retake this at about the same percentage. They be careful about overcommitting to ultimates here, starting with the Coalescence. But if they see an opportunity, if they see a window here, especially if Fitz can get an opening pick, this should be a very fast retake.
Orb back through, Coalescence comes out, Michelle gets taken down. Slime saying, you know what, I do damage as well. I can find kills as a Lucio. As Haksal tries to stay alive, and Slime is there again.
Late commitment there on the Coalescence for Jaehong. Was going to mention right before he used that at least Seoul did force, you know, a fight where they didn't waste anything. They got Twilight's Coalescence, but he used it late. Now they're getting staggered. So the ult economy being even now really just doesn't matter as much anymore. The Titans have kind of caught up in all regards. John is going to have his Gravitic Flux. And you're already behind in terms of that percentage, the control meter here.
That's the only one they had to use. Again, it's going to be a stairwell opportunity for the Doomfist. Seems like they're making their way out. Drop down comes through, gets the hit, nearly assassinates Marvel. Can't quite finish him off, and oh boy, dodges out that accretion with a Meteor Strike. Sound Barrier comes in, so knows that the execution potential of that Meteor Strike not quite going to be there, but So Minsu, he's in the back of the Death Blossom, and he picks up a triple kill.
Very expensive team fight here for Vancouver Titans, zoning everyone between the Death Blossom, the Meteor Strike, and the Gravitic Flux. It was also supercharged. But the most important ultimates you have as Vancouver against what Seoul's trying to approach with are your support ones, really. This is a fight they could take 2 ults to 3, arguably 4, as Jiao's getting close to his. As long as the Sound Barrier timing is good. Coalescence first.
Gravitic Flux coming out from Marvel, pushes 2 up into the air. Twilight going to be one of them. The Sound Barrier perfectly timed as they hit the ground. Keep everybody topped up. That Blossom was used, but doesn't really find anything. Flip coming through, however. Seoul Dynasty managed to find the point. Haksal is going to be taken down, so advantage to the side of the Dynasty as they retreat back over onto the point. Rocket Punch charged up from Fitz, but doesn't have any targets. Titans still trying to turn this one around as they play down onto the point. Punch comes through, however, knocking both tanks into the wall, and Tizzy will fall. Seems like Dynasty will be able to maintain control as they break down the front lines.
A really nice usage of ultimates by Dynasty, not to win a fight, but to win positioning. Getting onto the point itself allowed them to take that very one-sided fight, where Fitz was able to set up for the big damage. We saw Fleta in the back line behind Tizzy. Just made it really easy to take a good fight against the Titans, who only really had Sound Barrier to fight back with. And now the even ultimates here make it possible for Seoul Dynasty to win this round.
Johnny looking for that accretion stun. Can't quite get it. Absorbs a lot of damage, but 2 members, now 3, going to be taken out on the side of the Titans. Will just be in abandoned on that push. Dynasty, 75%.
And it looks like Seoul are playing a little bit far forward here. punishing Haksal, who likes to rocket punch in and then set up for the slam to get in there and get that first shielding. So he often has that on cooldown when he goes in. So Soul is just punishing that every time. When he comes up forward, he's the first one sticking his nose out.
I mean, look at this for the Dynasty, though. Both support ultimates ready to go. Gravitic Flux nearly there. Janu neck and neck with Marvel at the moment. Dropdown comes in. Tizzy's got the Fortify, so not going to be knocked into the wall. But I think a bit of damage here onto the high ground. Now going to be dropping in. Death Blossom going to be there. Barriers come out, trying to keep everybody else alive. But Michelle comes up with 2. Janu and Haksal both going to be eliminated. The OT ticking away. They barely manage to tag in. So Minsu goes down with one of his own, a Death Blossom of his own. He will get finished off, and that will be the Dynasty taking the first round of Busan. 199% neck and neck, both of these teams.
We spent a lot of time talking about Seoul Dynasty's ult synergy. It's either been phenomenal or it's been very lackluster. This is another one of those rounds where you're seeing Seoul Dynasty use their ultimates greatly in conjunction with each other to get that value, putting Fitz on the side with his Doomfist ultimate, setting up for these Death Blossoms coming through, the zoning, the flanking we saw there. Seoul Dynasty just kind of out-positioning Vancouver Titans with really good speed boosts. You know, that great neutral fight we had at the beginning of the point where they bought so much time. We wouldn't have really had that great final fight if they hadn't gotten that first cap and bought so much time there. And it's a good start here for Seoul. We are going to once again see these mirror compositions. No one's brave enough to do something crazy here on this control map that puts one of these teams onto match point. A little bit tougher to initiate with Doomfist here on this neutral fight.
Punch forward, instant stun there on a Fitz. No capitalization though. So still safe. Uses that ramp. It's a lot more air time than he might have anticipated, and Haksal is able to capitalize. Taking him down also finds Marvel. So Vancouver Titans very much winning the neutral fight at the beginning here.
Yeah,
and we'll be able to cap the point.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think that was a mistake by Fitz. He did not want to be in the back line like that, where he was exposed, tried to rocket punch away, but he doesn't have the distance he needs. He didn't get to fully charge it, because if he tried to and died, then Haksal is just ready to pick up the pieces. It becomes a 6v5 fight at that moment. And it just goes to show that Overwatch is an extremely competitive game. You make one mistake, it can cost you big.
Yep, Coalescence coming down. Dueling Moira's now out, crossing the beams and all. Punch goes through. Picks up a couple members there, but doesn't have that execution potential that they're looking for. Fitz shorts the hit. Meteor Strike comes down. Haksal going to be dragged back in, hit with the accretion, but still makes his way out as Janu takes out Michelle. Haksal with a sliver of HP, however, will get finished off by Marvel, but will even things up. But now 2 for 2 exchange. The Death Blossom comes in, and Sominsu gets pushed up onto the high ground. Still offers up a lot of damage onto the members of the Seoul Dynasty, which the rest of the Titans are able to capitalize on, so they maintain control of the point now at 45%.
Despite Toby showcasing his incredible Lucio mechanics, it's not enough to save the day. May it be enough to prevent Sominsu from lighting up the kill feed, but the fight is still won, the damage is still done. Vancouver Titans have the support ultimates they need to defend against this aggressive ult push that we're about to see from the Dynasty, especially this sound barrier versus the Flux. This is dire for Dynasty. They need this fight to be good. They need a pick.
Yep. Meteor Strike used just defensively there. Oh, 4 members knocked up into the air. They all get dropped back down. Sominsu going to be taken out. Grecian finds a hit into the back on a Slime, who's still holding on to that sound barrier. Did not use it during the Gravitic Flux. Supercharger going to be finished off. Marvel continues to advance around the flank. Sound barrier now in. Slime takes down Fleta. Unable to find anything with that Death Blossom. Shield's now going to be expiring as he gets slammed to the ground. The Recreation and Michelle finished off. The tank line broken down. Vancouver Titans look to take this second round on Busan 100-0, now at 91%.
Slime holding that sound barrier was so brilliant. He didn't need it for the Gravitic Flux. There wasn't any follow-up damage there. All he had to do was wait till the last moment of the fight and they'd win it.
They've already forced Fitz away. They tag in for the moment. They come back into the Wrecking Ball, but Michelle's down to half HP. Haksal rejoining. Meteor Strike nearly online, looks for the punch there, onto the Wrecking Ball, finds it, and gets a kill. Goes up with the Meteor Strike, drops down, looking for Jaehong, and he is already gone. Oh no! It's okay. Uppercut, back in with a Seismic Slam. A little bit risky there, Haksal, but either way, would have still been a round of victory for the Vancouver Titans, just showing off some mobility there. Well, now we are tied up 1-1 on Busan to see who can take the lead in this series.
Pretty win-win for the Vancouver Titans that last fight. The sound barrier hold from Slime was genius because if they lose the fight, if Gravitic Flux ends up getting a pick and Seoul Dynasty get in a position to follow up there, then you lose a fight, but you already you get to keep the sound barrier if you die there, and you get to re-aggress with it and potentially just take the final fight to win the map. If you save it, and everyone survives, which is what happened, especially because there weren't really any follow-up hits on the targets that were Gravitic Flux by Marvel. If you save it, then you get to use it for the final part of that fight when you're at 99. Deny the Death Blossom value. Slime just made that call on the fly and ended up being the winning move there. And it was already very likely a one map, but it became even more one-sided. Look at the aggressive positioning here of Haksal on the side. He's looking for the flank, not the frontal attack, which he's been looking for most of these fights. He's actually going to try to surprise the Dynasty here since his style has kind of been figured out a little bit over the course of this series. Still on the flank. Here it comes.
Yep, looking for Toby. Can't find him though. Instead, intercepts the Orisa, but still gets a nice little consolation prize of Fleta. Taking him out right on the back end of that dive forward. Seismic Slam just still softening up that Orisa. We'll be able to finish him off, but Toby comes in, claims the enemy Doomfist right at the end, but it seems like still the Titan's going to be destined to get this cap first. Toby's still buying some time. Hovering around the point, but will finally get finished off. And again, Titans on the board first.
And this is the kind of thing that you need to see from good Doomfist players over the course of a series, is to change up your approach. On Control, it's the easiest to do that because you have a sphere to operate around. You can, especially in the neutral fight, take any approach angle. You're not in the more linear setup like you are on Escort, for example. And Haksal got the better end of those opening picks over Fitz. And they get the first flip because of it. Total control of the map.
Titans just hanging back, waiting for the Dynasty to come to them. Punch charged up, just going to be a cancel here from Haksal. Coalescence comes out from both Moiras. No one going to be taken out yet. It's going to be softened up a little bit, but Haksal finds the hit. Jehong going to be eliminated. Tizzy, however, going to be gone. Still going to be a trade up as the Titans find a 2 for 1. They're going to make it 3. Haksal gets a little bit of healing, and we'll just go ahead and finish off Marvel in the end with another rocket punch.
I'm not going to send that fist into a black hole with the Absorb pulled up there, unfortunately. Haksal, again, coming up with these big kills. Easier to do defensively. They have the point controlled. Slime has the answer, the sound barrier for this Gravitic Flux if needed. He could also hold it just like he did previously on Mecha Base. There's so many advantages to the Titans right now. Fitz needs to come up with a big kill again. Remember when he killed Slime on Gibraltar? We need something like that.
Van uppercut, just sending Johnny way up into the air with that Gravitic Flux rolling. Doesn't find anything on the back of it, and already down 2 members are the Titans. Tizzy as well, going to be taken down. So Minsu eliminated. That will be the team wipe. Extend coming through onto the Titans. The flip finally there for the Seoul Dynasty. 81% built up for Vancouver.
Had to use a lot of ultimates for it, but, you know, it was do or die. They didn't really have much of a choice there. You can't be critical when you have to win that fight. It's a, you know, you lose a fight, you're putting your opponent on match point. Toby doesn't have sound barrier. Slime still holds that. So that's going to be the key factor here in this fight versus the Gravitic Flux. They have the Death Blossom to use afterwards. They have so many counter engages, so all they have to do is be patient and wait for Soul to set up the defensive fight, then they can sweep in.
Here's the coming out already. Fitz going to be gone. Haksal gets a better of him again as the Death Blossom comes in. Marvel doing his best to try to mitigate that damage, but it is just going to be a very swift wipe at the hands of the Vancouver Titans. Back in control, surging up towards 100%, looking to take the lead 3-2 in this series and be at match point.
Soul just may never get to use those ultimates. Fleta and Marvel are holding them, but they can't get to the point. Slowly rotating over here with the speed boost.
They're gated back now for the moment. Gravitic Flux will come in, knocks up 3, but Haksal
going to touch.
Finds Fitz. Jehong going to be taken down. They force out the OT. The cap getting ready to come through as Fleta has TP'd over onto the point, but it is just a slaughter at the hands of the Vancouver Titans. Meteor Strike comes out. Death Blossom used in desperation, but Haksal stops him coming down back from orbit. And the Vancouver Titans will get the victory on Busan. They will move forward 3-2 in this series now at match point.
Momentum has swung like a pendulum in this 1-4 series between these two teams, and the ball is now in Vancouver's court right now. We'll see if Seoul can defend on this is potentially our final map here, as Haksal is just getting first blow after first blow.
Very well could be the last map. We'll have to see what happens when we come back after this game break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
this one might be going the distance after the Dynasty jumped out to a 2-1 lead. It was the Titans responding with back-to-back wins to push us to game point at 3-2 at the break. What's up, everybody? It's the game break. We're at the wall. We meaning Sideshow and Bryn as well. Guys, coming into this stretch of the match, the Vancouver Titans picked Horizon Lunar Colony, and it looked like that was a confident pick by them, but they ended up getting full health. What was going on with them?
Yeah, they got absolutely destroyed.
Yes, I mean, this is going to happen as well with the playoffs, because a lot of these teams are going to be purposely not playing against one like each other, because they know they might play against each other later in the tournament.
Right.
So you're going to start to see as well, a lot of these map picks might make sense for the teams in their heads, but in reality, it's very good for their opposition without realizing it. So
And that was why Nombani was such
Exactly.
a gutsy pick for the Seoul Dynasty to come out there and try and take that. And I think that the Vancouver Titans were perhaps even a little rattled because they didn't look as coordinated coming out on the next time when they played on Horizon. And this has been part of that flip-flopping momentum that we've seen throughout this series, because they just got crushed here but immediately bounced back.
Yeah, this is something that Wolf has been hitting on throughout the cast as well, is that we're seeing almost two sides to Seoul Dynasty. On one side, they're very good with their ultimates, they're clean, they're concise, they know exactly when to initiate, but sometimes it's a little bit scrappy, it's a little bit too, I guess frantic is the word I would use as well, with a lot of their initiations especially, and Vancouver Titans as well. This match means so much to both of these teams, given the history of all of the players involved. I mean, they've been playing against each other for years now as well. So there's so much implications when it comes to this match as a whole. You can only imagine the weight that's on all of these players' shoulders as they're heading into this match.
Absolutely, yeah. Incredible amount on the line here for both of these teams, both in terms of pride and reputation. But I want to talk about the Doomfists again, because Haksal has been taking control of this match. It's been kind of outrageous. Fitz has been trying to do a little too much, I think, going in a bit too aggressively, and Haksal's always there with the shutdown. Sominsu as well playing a very good game, but it's Haksal the whole way for me, especially when we're on control.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, actually. It's been slowly just drifting towards in that direction as well. And this comes down to what I was talking about earlier with the frantic movements. It's been a little bit, they've been impatient, is what I would use, actually. Their initiations aren't comes to it. Sometimes they're initiating first and just getting countered in that. This is a recurring theme that we've been seeing so far.
And there's been so much Moira use actually between these two teams. Moira's just kind of the flavor of the month. And Ryuja Hong was fantastic when we saw him in the play. And I think it was a really interesting dynamic because it seems like the heroes like the Doomfist and the Reaper are often going and trying to kill the Moira as their top priority. We saw a great coalescence being used over the course. So I've got to stay where I want to break down some of the ways Sigma was actually able to utilize. Marvel in the plains was able to block this. Marvel in the plains was able to block this coming out from Shu, the player he was playing against. And this is an amazing interaction where you can utilize the rock to be able to knock the Moira out of her coalescence. Our coalescence is incredibly powerful. Look at this shot again, actually, as well. It's nasty.
Filthy.
Sends this rock all the way across King's Road to be able to get it. This is part of the reason why we were talking so much about Marvel coming into this match. But the Moira coalescence is so important.
Records for these two teams this year, 5-1, 4-1, very close. This could be where it all ends in this series. Of course, the loser will have another chance against the loser of our second match of the day today, Sparking Gladiators. But this is a moment where you look at historically, you know, the support line of Seoul Dynasty, how comfortable they've been on this map in the past, and you feel like this is it. We're going to a 7th map. You know, if they can perform well here, can the Titans, one of their worst maps historically in big playoff matches, break the curse here and move on against old rivals? What a story for this Eichenwald map.
Yeah. Well, you can see just going to be doing the spot check with the Widowmaker. Doesn't see anything that he can take out of the skies instantly. No Farah defense for the side of the Vancouver Titans, which at this point is kind of unsurprising. Farah hasn't really been working for them in the series, so we'll just be sticking through with that Reaper Doomfist. Dynasty pushing forward, mirroring the compositions as we play the nice barrier break game.
There's a game of chicken between the Doomfist as well, oftentimes.
Haksal.
But the flank.
He's a sneaky boy. Tries to isolate Marvel, but can't capitalize on the kill. Grecian hit Fleta there for a moment. HP bar is dangerously low for the side of the Seoul Dynasty. Rocket punch from Haksal, not going to find the hit.
Yeah, uncharacteristic miss there. That would have been a pick onto Fitz, which would have totally shut down this first attack. But as it is, there's a chance.
Yeah, they're still doing a very good job of rerouting the Dynasty, however, constantly pulling them back and forth around this center building. Coalescence going to be coming out from both sides. Popping Janu back up is Twilight. Trying to keep his team safe into the back. Was Fleta nearly had taken down Sominsu. Would have been a very critical pick for the side of the Dynasty, but instead it's going to be Haksal coming up with another kill onto Fitz to start things off. Marvel will be eliminated as well. Bears coming up, the rest of the Dynasty just retreating.
Titans are playing really well around Marvel's flanks on the right side from, defender's perspective, left side for Dynasty. Keeps trying to set up for that damage over there, is getting shut down by Janu's barriers, hasn't been able to, keep up with Janu's damage either. But the Coalescence trade favors the Titans here on the defense. Twilight's already, taking a slight lead on the next one. Something's going to have to give here for Seoul Dynasty. They're going to have to hit a kill.
Oh boy, Gravitic Flux manages to find 3. Sound barrier does come out to keep everybody topped up.
But I mean, Slime now has the sound barrier advantage. I mean, that's all they got out of this is just not dying. That's not a win. That's a bad trade. Fitz needs to come up with these kills. I feel like every time I say it, he comes up with one. He needs it. They need it so badly.
Looking for another punch, and that's Marvel. Take it out. Haksal just deleting the enemy Sigma. Fleta now taken down as well. So far, very rough start for the side of the Seoul Dynasty. Do not want things to end this way with a potential full hold on A. Still have a minute 35 left, but the ultimate slim pickings for the Dynasty at the moment. Need to build up those last 3.
Fitz took out Slime. Slime's going to have to run back. He is Lucio, so he'll be back quickly. But there is a tiny window here where there's no sound barrier. This is another timing here where Fitz has taken out this important ultimate. I don't know if they're going to be able to capitalize. They're trying.
Supercharger comes in. They're so very close to the rest of these ultimates. The DPS ones especially.
Slime's back.
Supercharger taken out. Massive seismic slam. Gets a punch. The isolation onto Michelle. Can he finish him off? The answer is going to be yes. Haksal finds it. Sound barrier dropped in from Slime as they push forward. We're cut in. Fitz going to be trying to retreat. Still has that Meteor Strike as an emergency escape should he need to use it, but it's going to have to be another reset for the Dynasty. They're down under a minute remaining.
This is looking really bad for Seoul Dynasty here. They don't have any great initiation ultimates. They don't have the sound barrier they need to guarantee that Fleta can get into position to do the damage he needs. It's just building so slowly, and they only have 1.5 fights really left with this. They're going to have a stagger fight if this one fails. This one needs to be big.
Punch in. Fitz looks for the kill. Unable to find him. Soften up Tizzy there for the moment. Haksal has to use the Meteor Strike now. Fitz can be using his own. Drops into the back. That Blossom is out. Haksal finds one. Summon gets Michelle, and Fleta's going to be gone. It's a 2 for 3 in favor of the Titans with 20 seconds remaining as members of the Dynasty are still falling down. Vancouver Titans looking to end it right here. They do not want another map 7 versus the Seoul Dynasty. They want to close this out nice and clean on Eichenwald.
Looks very likely that they will do so. 8 seconds left. Only one member to touch. Jaehong's got the Coalescence.
Got a tag in.
Oh, Michelle!
They gate off the wrecking ball there for the moment, but they do manage to make their way in. Michelle going to be taken down, however, so don't have one of their tanks. You hear the Gravitic Flux coming through. OT starting to bleed away. Fitz gets a punch. Jumps into the back, but he's down to half HP. Toby and Fleta both going to be eliminated now. Marvel going to be gone. Tizzy finding the kill. They finish off Jaehong. OT still bleeding away. Not even a single tick gained on point A for the side of the Seoul Dynasty on their own map pick. Is what it comes down to? Looks like the answer is going to be yes. Vancouver Titans pull off a perfect full hold on Eichenwald.
The only thing that Seoul Dynasty can hope for here is a draw, an equal full hold, and that will be the first step to come back into this series. It is a first of 4 wins series here, so the draw will not win this series for Vancouver Titans, but they are 1 tick away from being knocked into the loser bracket after such a great start in our first playoff series here.
So very close. Had a full hold on Horizon, but now they need to deny a single tick away from Vancouver. Let's see if they can do it when we come back.
Support your team with the official Overwatch League Coca-Cola bottles at CokeStore.com. Ships to all 50 U.S. states, Washington, D.C., and U.S. P.O. boxes.
And here we are. The game, this series, hanging in the balance for the Seoul Dynasty. Need amazing defense here. They're not a single tick away from the Vancouver Titans on point A.
A miracle is what it'll
draw.
take. Yeah, a miracle is what it'll take here, Achilles. And the most iconic place on Eichenwald for Lunatic Kai, then became Seoul Dynasty. We've watched the evolution of this team over the last 2 years, is Eichenwald Bridge, but it's not a place where they can make their final stand in this series, because they will need to hold A. That full hold for the Vancouver Titans prevented them from playing their best section of any map historically. This organization, Fleta on the Farah. It's been a while since we've seen it. Summon-Su, fairly mediocre McCree player. We've all seen, you know, his weak moments there when he tries to shut this down. So this is a great composition. The Bastion is risky, but I like that Seoul are trying something different here.
I mean, they have to be all in on something here. Try to hold them off. See already Fleta getting tagged up in the sky. Hold him forward. We're looking for that accretion setup, but they can't quite stun him.
Haksal wants to hit that Bastion if he can. Waiting for the reload here. That's going to be his timing window. The rest of his squad
is pulling around the side here. Summon-Su maybe looking for a TP setup. He is.
Haksal completely on the other side as well. They're going for a two-sided flank.
Yep, he's down underneath them. I mean, they can drag Dynasty off this high ground. They can just inch their way onto the point there on that corner. Fitz trying to find the angle.
Someone has to touch. It's one tick only, so they're forcing them off.
Yep, they peel back for the moment. Fleta getting a lot of great damage in. Now the Titans, a lot of them going to be contained inside, and the barrage is online. Fleta can set this one up. Could be absolutely huge. Immortality Field going to be taken down. The barrage comes in, looking for our target. Fleta still hovering there in the air, but it's the Titans who are very much coming out on top, and it seems like that will be it. The team wipe coming through as Fleta gets taken down. One tick, all they need, and the Titans have it. They close out this first playoff series versus the Seoul Dynasty and will be advancing. It's not over yet for Seoul, though. They will be moving down into the lower bracket.
And the first time in over a year, Tizzy stands up as a winner with his former teammates. It's been a long time since he had played with them. He comes into a tough match against a very strong Seoul Dynasty and is able to perform over Bumper, one of our strongest main tank players here in 2019. It feels nostalgic to watch Vancouver Titans play together with their old tank, but it's also a little bit sad for the Dynasty fans because, you know, they were hoping we were going to get a little bit of that 2017 feel, you know, defeating the old runaway squad, but it is not going to happen, not in this series. And Vancouver Titans are reminding the world that they are on top, they are the first seed, and in 2019 they are stronger than Seoul Dynasty.
That they are. This is just the first step in a long journey, though, to try to make it into that grand final, but a very solid start for the Vancouver Titans. And take a look at our player of the match presented by Omen. And, I mean, who else could it be? It's going to be Haksal, newly crowned Rookie of the Year, and now player of the match in his first Overwatch League playoff game.
Absolutely a monster on the Doomfist, and his ability to set up more consistent first blows, first eliminations, over Fitz was what defined the second half of this series, and he changed the way he played too mid-series. He was going for very aggressive, front-sided, you know, basically straight up in your face blows, but then he actually decided to flank on the edge. Look at this, 121 eliminations.
Good God, Haksal. Unbelievable. 121 with 25 deaths, 61 of those final blows. So more than half.
Over half of his kills were him getting the last hit there, and a lot of those were first eliminations.
Incredible stuff there from Haksal and from the Vancouver Titans. Taking a look at what that's done to our bracket. On Sunday, you can see their Titans surging forward. We'll be playing against the winner of our next series here today between the Spark and the Gladiators. Seoul Dynasty have moved down into the losers match, and they don't have that much time to get ready. They have to play again on Saturday.
Yeah, they're not going home right now. They're going to have to go back to the dugout and watch this next match. That's going to be their best chance to study it, get a first look, and then, of course, go back home and review it. They've got little over 24 hours to really get set up and ready for this.
Yeah, well, guys, we've got Danny Lim standing by on the floor with Haksal, so let's throw to him for our victory moment presented by Coca-Cola.
Wolf and Achilles, thank you very much. Everybody give it up for Haksal and the Vancouver Titans for clutching that win. Amazing job. Rookie of the Year, and also you just won another match. Now, how'd you guys prepare for your match against the Seoul Dynasty today? 자, 일단 오늘 신인상도 받고 또 오늘 경기도 이기고 하선 선수 굉장히 기분이 좋으실 것 같은데 오늘 서울과의 경기 좀 어떻게 준비를 하셨나요?
저는 일단 최대한 둠피스트를 좀 많이 연습해서 둠피스트로 그냥 다 때려잡겠다는 생각으로 좀 준비했습니다.
So before coming into match against Seoul Dynasty, I practiced a lot of Doomfist. I knew I had to punch my way to win the match, so that's exactly what I just did. And you did punch your way to your victory. Okay, so our next match is with Gladiators and the Hangzhou Sparks. Now, Haksal, in your personal opinion, who do you think is going to make their way up and face you guys for the semifinals? 자, 다음 경기인 스파크와 글래디의 경기가 있는데 학살 선수가 개인적으로 보시기에 어느 팀이 이겨서 준결승전에 밴쿠버와 경기를 할 것 같나요?
저는 항저우 스파크가 좀 이길 것 같다고 생각해요. 네. 항저우가 좀 잘해가지고 네, 저랑 연습했었어서 네, 그래서 항저우가 좀 이길 것 같습니다.
항저우는 잘하고 딴 팀은 잘 못하고? 네? 아니구나. 알겠습니다. So Haksal says that he personally, in his opinion, he believes Hangzhou Spark is going to win today's match and they're going to be up for the semifinals against Vancouver Titans. Reason is simple, because he believes Hangzhou Spark is just better. It's a really good team. So, all right, thank you so much, Haksal. Now we're going to move on to our special event. We have a signed jersey from Haksal. Where is it? Right here. Right here. Right here, everybody. And we have our lucky fan right here, everybody. Round of applause. What's your name?
Michaela.
Michaela, congratulations. Here is your jersey. Haksal, can you give her a hug? 자, 포옹 한 번만 해주세요. Thank you guys so much. Casters, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Danny. Good to hear from Haksal. And again, congratulations for becoming the player of the match as well as our rookie of the year. Incredible stuff from him. Really
Big day for this player.
Really leveling up, from map 3 onward there, especially on that Doomfist. It seems like the Titans just realized, okay, you know what, Farah, not working. Hey, Haksal, let's go beat the crap out of him.
I mean, it's crazy to see Haksal. I mean, he's a player who was extremely known for his Genji back in Korea. Any dive composition, you think of this player when you think back to then, but he has really moved forward into a wider variety of heroes here in the Overwatch League, and he's on top of the world right now.
That he is. I mean, Titans, it seems like they feel like they're going to be facing against the Spark. We'll be finding out about that one in just a little bit. But first, I think we have Danny Lim standing by for yet another interview, but this time, it's with the losers, Seoul Dynasty and Jae-Hong.
Thanks, guys. I am standing right next to Ryu Jae-Hong from Seoul Dynasty. Also, everybody, it is his birthday today. He just turned 28, so congratulations on your birthday.